The Halloween event part 2 is starting around the world in Pokemon Go, and today, as always, we're going to run through all the tips and tricks and everything you need to know about this event. Let's get you ready. So first thing to mention is this event is coinciding with the Team Go Rocket event. I have another video on tips for that event, so if you're curious about that, check the link below. But this event will be October 26th at 10 a.m. to October 31st at 8 p.m. your local time. We'll have the bonuses of extra candy and XL candy gained for hitting nice, great, and excellent throws, as well as costume Pokemon getting you extra candy when caught. Also, only on October 31st for the full day, you can get rare candy and rare XL candy for catching costume Pokemon. We've never seen this bonus before. It is absolutely amazing. So definitely play on October 31st and catch as many of those Pokemon as you can. Nonetheless, sponsoring the event will be the Trick or Treat costume Pikachu, Spooky Festival Vulpix, Murkrow, Mischievous Sableye, Halloween costume Piplup, Drifloon, Yamask, Zora, which is the new shiny for the event, Fennekin, Phantom, Spooky Festival costume Punkaboo, Noibat, and rare spawns for the Trick or Treat Gengar. 1-star raids will also be Ghastly, Mischievous, and Phantom, 3-star raids for the Trick or Treat Gengar, 5-star raids for Darkrai, and Mega raids for Mega Banette. We'll also see Lavender Town music being played in-game. The map will be decorated with Halloween exclusive things like Part 1, and we'll have Pokestop showcases from October 26th to 28th for Phantom, and October 29th to 31st for Drifloon. We'll also see, of course, exclusive avatar items in the shop like we saw with Part 1, as well as exclusive stickers. Now, we also have some exclusive research going down during the event. Starting with the field research task, we'll have the task Make 7 Great Throws for Miss Magius, Walk 1 kilometer for a Galarian Yamask, Evolve a Ghost type for a Phantom, and power up Pokemon 3 times for a Greavard, so a great way to get that Pokemon for free. We'll also have the Halloween Part 2 timed research task. You can check it out on screen. It does get you a nice encounter with a Zara and that new Trick or Treat costume Gengar. Also, timed research from Part 1 will continue into Part 2. Obviously, this timed research for Greavard will be available, as well as the Spiritomb limited research, if you haven't completed that, will be available, but you're not getting a second version of this. Also, the $5 timed research will continue into Part 2. On screen, you can pay the $5 ticket to get the Eerie Echoes timed research task, and Part 4 of the Ticket of Treats, which is a separate ticket you can buy, will be available. You can check out on screen, getting you some Phantom, Mischievous encounters, and other items. Not too hard. You can read them and pause here if you would like. Oh my god, there's a lot of research during this event. With the event details out of the way, let's get right into the tips, starting with the best wild spawns coming down during the event, and we actually have some decent ones. Starting with Vulpix, which you can evolve into Ninetales. Ninetales is pretty good in the Great League and some limited Great League metas. We also have Sableye in there. Sableye gets you 750 Stardust every time you catch it, so definitely worth catching, as well as a Purified Sableye is an amazing Great League Pokemon, so great to grind candies and XL candies for Sableyes in the wild. Also, we do have Mega Sableye in the game if you want to get a good IV one for that. Drifloon's also in there, which evolves into Drifblim. Drifblim is good in the Great League and in the Ultra League. Yamask is in there, which evolves into Cofagrigus. Cofagrigus good in the Great League and in the Ultra League. Phantom's in there. Phantom evolves into Trevenant, a Great League and Ultra League Pokemon, although it did recently get nerfed, still pretty strong. Finally, Gengar with the costume is in there. Gengar, of course, does have a Mega form in the game, and also Gengar is a decent Ghost type raid attacker, and also decent in the Ultra League. Also, Gengar does get you 500 Stardust every time you catch it, so definitely worth catching. We also have some exclusive raids during the event. Let's talk about what are the best ones. Starting off with Ghastly, which of course we already talked about, evolving into Gengar, and Phantom is also available from the raids, although you don't really want 100% IV for a PvP Trevenant. Gengar in the costume is also in the 3-star raid, so another way to encounter that cool costume Pokemon and get a cool Gengar for the Mega Evolution. Darkrai will also be in the 5-star raids. Darkrai is a great Dark type raid attacker, and you can also even use as a Ghost type raid attacker using Shadow Ball, so definitely a Pokemon worth getting on your team. Finally, Mega Banette's in there, which is the number 2 overall Ghost type raid attacker in the game. Definitely a strong Mega you're going to want to grab some Mega Energy for before it leaves. Now, the best bonus we've ever seen is coming to Pokemon Go. October 31st, on Halloween Day, you can get rare candy and rare XL candy for catching costume Pokemon. So during this day, I recommend this. Use the quick catch technique. If you want to learn how to catch Pokemon, you can catch over 400 an hour using this technique. Link below will learn that strategy. Also, use that strategy in AR mode, and then go out to the busiest area in your area and try to find an hour or 2 minimum to play on Halloween and catch every costume Pokemon you see. Hopefully the rates are decent and you can get a bunch of rare and specifically rare XL candies for just catching Pokemon, which is absolutely amazing. Rare XL candies are some of the hardest candies to get in the game. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be trying to go for like 2,000 catches that day if I can. Now, how we can maximize playing on today is going to be follow my candy tips on how to grind a lot of candy during this event, and let's talk about it. Number 1, using Pineapple Berries. Regular Pineapple Berries will multiply catch candy by 2 and Silvers by 2.34. Definitely go ahead and use Pineapple Berries on any of those spawns you want extra candies for, like for example Sableyes. You can also Mega Evolve a Pokemon. If you don't know when you Mega Evolve a Pokemon, any Pokemon you catch that shares a type with that Mega, you get extra candy, XL candy, and XP for catching those Pokemon. Specifically during this event, I always recommend Mega Evolving a Mega Sableye. Mega Sableye is a Dark and Ghost type Pokemon, and it hits almost every single spawn appearing during this event, including the raid Pokemon and all that stuff. I think Mega Mega Sableye is going to hit the best things. So if you can Mega Evolve a Mega Sableye, definitely go ahead with it. You can also trade. If you don't know, when you trade away Pokemon, if the distance between where those 2 Pokemon were caught is over 100 kilometers, you'll get a guaranteed XL candy for making that trade and 2 extra regular candies. So what I recommend doing is catching any of these Pokemon that you want extra XL candies for. A good example would be Gengar, Sableye for the Mega Forms. You can even do Trevenant if you want to Ultra League Trevenant. Save all those Pokemon and then find a friend who recently went on a trip. If that friend is coming back, they're going to have Pokemon caught from far away. You can go ahead and mirror trade the distance Pokemon for the locally caught Pokemon. Get a lot of XL candies. I do it all the time with my mom. It's a top tier strategy. But if you can't do that, you can do our 4th strategy, which is going to be transfer Pokemon. Specifically, you want to transfer Pokemon during a 2x transfer candy event. I thought the Halloween event was going to have this bonus, but it does not. So you're probably best waiting until November, in which one of the spotlight hours during November will probably have the bonus of 2x transfer candy. Save any of the Pokemon you really want extra candies for until then and transfer them then. I know that the Dia de Muertos event going down November 1st to 2nd will have 2x transfer candy, but only for trainers in Latin America. So if you are in Latin America, you can save Pokemon until then. If you're not, wait till spotlight hour. Finally, that moves us into the last section, Platinum Medal tips. You need 35 Platinum Medals to go from level 48 to 49 in Pokemon Go. Which medals should you grind during this event? Starting with, of course, all the type medals. For example, here, the Delinquent Medal, catch 2,500 Dark types. The Ghost type medal. If there's any types that you see spawning in the wild that you haven't completed for the type medals, catch those Pokemon. We also do have Phantom spawning in the wild. And if you don't know, if you actually receive a Phantom from trade, it's completely free to evolve it into Trevenant. So getting your friend to catch a bunch of Phantoms, you catch a bunch of Phantoms, and then you guys trade each other those Phantoms. You guys will both get these free evolutions Pokemon, and then you can evolve them for the Scientist medal, evolve 2,000 Pokemon. Evolving also gets you XP, so this can be a great way to grind some XP. We also have those exclusive Pikachu spawning in the wild with the costumes. So the Pikachu fan medal, catch 1,000 Pikachus. If you haven't done this, you can work on this. And also, you can receive Pikachus from trade for this medal. So if your friend catches some of them and trades them to you, that's another way to get points towards this medal. We have some exclusive raids going down during the event. So the Rising Star medal, defeat 150 species of Pokemon in raids. Take a look at the raid roster during this event and raid each Pokemon at least once if you haven't. For example, I've probably never raided a Mischievous, so I'm going to do at least one raid to get a point towards this medal. And finally, we do of course have those showcases I talked about. So the Showcase Star Medal, win 100 Pokestop showcases, is a great medal to work on. Again, my tips for winning Pokestop showcases is always drop into your rural showcases. Don't go to the busy ones in downtown. Going into the rural showcases, less people will be there, less competition, and higher chance of winning. There's no point in trying to win the downtown ones. You need like the best Pokemon. It's better to win the local ones. And that is it, guys. That is the Halloween event part 2 tips. Very similar to part 1, to be honest, just a couple changes, but it is coinciding with the Team Go Rocket event. And if you want to learn the tips for that event, check out the video right below me right now. That event is going alongside this event and is going to make this event so much better. You definitely want to know how to maximize on the Team Rocket portion. Follow for more tips. Peace.